Okie dokie. This one's a little bit shorter, but um, this is our presentation on herbal remedies. So we're gonna be doing starting out some forms, our top 5 ways that we use herbals, a couple simple ones, and then some questions and examples. So when starting out, there's a couple things you want to know. Uh, Dad, can you turn this down a bit? It's like really hot, and I want to lean forward a bit more. But okay. So first, herbals take a lot of research, whether it's from a book or from looking them up online, whatever you're doing. And herbals can be free, like if you go out and pick dandelions, that's pretty much free. Or they can be extremely expensive if you go out and buy elderberries. Uh, some herbals can take a while to prepare and be ready to use, and some you can just rub it on or eat it or whatever you're gonna do. Um, so first, a mindset is to go to herbals before you go to normal medicine. So like if you get a headache, you'd have to take an herbal tea for pain relieving rather than just going straight to medicine to fix it. And another thing is herbals don't work the same as normal medicine. You got to take them like multiple times a day when you're sick to get rid of the sickness. Sometimes even before when you feel you're getting sick and after when you're done sick, so it doesn't come back. Um, these are uh, some books we use, like the Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. It's got pretty much everything in it. Um, Healing for Children is a bit more focused towards children than adults, but it's still pretty relevant. Nourishing Traditions is more about food, but they do have a lot of herbal stuff as well. Um, Materia Medica is more, it's like the one that you need because you can cross-reference all the medications you're taking with the herbs that you want to take to know if there's anything that you shouldn't take together because some medicines and herbs don't get along. And then on the other side are some other popular books in the herbal community that we looked up that we don't have and don't know if they're good, but most people seem to like it a lot. The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. That's what they're saying. Yep. Okay, that's the next one.
Materia medica is good to have if you're like on something else and you want to make sure they don't like cross-reference.
You can't just look it up too.
There's no one great book having 4 or 5 cycle goats with hogs or anything like that. Have one. We're gonna be missing something that others have. We found that
nothing covers them.
Yeah, we have like
Nothing covers everything.
10 herbal books, and we find something new. Something that one didn't cover.
Hand out the mic. Do you want to keep talking?
No.
Okay. Oh, mom wants to talk. Who knows?
Thank you, Marie. So the other thing that I would say is when I was getting started, and Tim, you can clarify this. You had got me hooked on this book here, which I found really, really easy to use because it gives the warnings and the, don't use on kids and that kind of important stuff with each herb, but each herb is only, a couple pages really. But then I'd take it and I'd go to like a website. So I do like a search and just kind of try to get, because this was so new to me and I was a bit nervous, if I'm honest, it would give me confirmation as to what I was reading in the book. So I would always go to a book first, feeling a little more confident as to something that was published. And then I'd go to the internet because it's like the app for, that you click on a weed or something and you want to know what it is. I don't feel 100% comfortable with that, but it gives us a place to start, huh, John? And then it will say like, hey, this can look a lot, whatever, burdock, I don't know, two things that look a lot alike, but one is poisonous and one is not. So it will give you a little trick. Hey, this one has 5 leaves and this one only has 4 or something like that. So I just feel like always the books I go to first, and then I kind of check it with the internet if I'm going to use the internet. But yes, read.
Man may esteem himself happy when that which is his food is also his medicine.
Forms of herbs. Teas. I think you all know what that is, but we use a lot of teas whenever, if we get some kind of sickness, we kind of just have a bunch of jars on our shelf with different herbs, like dried or something. And then we can kind of mix them together depending on different things that are good for your sickness. And then we just mix it all together in a tea, and then we'll drink that. Tinctures. There are 3 different kinds of tinctures. There's an alcohol tincture. It's made with basically the most disgusting vodka you can find, the strongest stuff you can get. It's stronger than the other tinctures in more ways than one. It kind of pulls out the properties of the herbs better than the other ones, but it's also really strong. So glycerin tinctures are made a little bit sweeter, and they're made out of kind of a syrup. They're better for kids because they don't gag whenever they eat it. But it also kind of doesn't pull out as much of the properties of the herb as the other one does. Vinegar, made with apple cider vinegar or white vinegar. We usually use apple cider. It's kind of the midpoint of all the tinctures. It extracts the juice from the herbs better than glycerin, but not as much as alcohol. Salves are made with an oil or extract of an herb. The consistency is made with beeswax and essential oils if you're using them. The essential oils are more so for smell, but a salve is basically just like a balm. Our top 5. Elderberry syrup.
Elderberry flowers are symmetrical with 5 flat white petals and 5 protruding stamens. Some people confuse elderberry with the deadly poisonous water hemlock. The berries are edible cooked, and the flowers are edible dried. You can use elderberry to prevent sickness. We usually have it in the form of elderberry syrup, which is made with elderberry juice and honey. We try to use elderberry syrup daily to prevent sickness, and we use it multiple times a day if we or someone else are sick. Mom and I make elderberry syrup.
That's Marie's favorite one. There's another couple that we have, our echinacea tincture. It's really good for colds and fevers, and you can make it out of any of each of the things that I just went over. Fire cider is a toxic mixture of all the strongest things you can find. It's great against sickness if you're still alive. Garlic, turmeric, ginger. It's kind of a bad name, but we named it ourselves. So it, yeah. It's diced garlic, turmeric, and ginger, and then we kind of just like sit it or ferment it in honey. And then teas, I already talked about. We just use a bunch of different kinds of herbs. You let the air get to the garlic, turmeric, ginger a little.
Hi, Murray. Just a note that the garlic needs to have oxygen to stimulate its properties for at least about 10 minutes before you put it in the jar.
Okie dokie. Simple herbs. Oh, now we got our handout. We got some simple herbs, dandelion, plantain, mint, and garlic. I don't know if garlic's technically an herb, but it's close enough. Um, Dandelion is very good for all of these are good for a bunch of things. Dandelion can help with liver, kidney, and gallbladder support. It's a diuretic, which means it removes excess water from your body. It's an antioxidant. It's anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, anti-cancer, anti-rheumatic, so it helps with your breathing, antimicrobial. It helps with your blood sugar regulation, your digestive health, and your immune system. So plantain's also antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, but it can also help with like coughs if you have a wound, skin condition, bug bite, rashes, blisters, stuff like that. It can help your respiratory system, and it also removes excess water.
Is there anyone that doesn't want the next handout? It's kind of just that one just goes into a little bit more detail about 10 of them.
Okay. And then mint is good for your respiratory health. It can give you pain relief, helps with stress and anxiety. It's also antimicrobial. It helps your digestive health, your oral health, can relieve allergies, can help your cognitive functions and your skin health. And garlic is an antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and antimicrobial, and it has cardiovascular benefits as well. Uh, Garlic is also anti-carcinogenic, which means it prevents cancer from coming in the first place. It supports your immune system, your blood sugar, um, gives you better digestive health, can help kill parasites and detoxify your body. I think that's it. So questions, and then we can go over and look at all this stuff closer afterward.
Any questions? If not, we can just do this. Okay. So if you want, I randomly came up with this before we started, but you can just say a random problem and then we can see if it's in here. Bronchitis.
He just wants to spell.
Spell. Can you spell? There's about 30 different herbs that you can use for bronchitis.
That's it.
Have it on there. There's one certain one that grows over here at a very good clip. One runs the most of it. You didn't have it on there, but there is one that grows over here That's great for any respiratory lung issues. You know which one that is?
I do. Oh, mullein. Mullein.
Mullein. And mullein, you can make a tea, and then the natives used to smoke it. And then, no smoking, but that was the way it originally was used, was smoked. But you can make a tea with the leaves. The root is also good for joint pain, and the flowers are good to make um, put that with some oil, and it's good for ear infections.
A big tall stalk with big leaves, and then it has like a thing at the top with little yellow flowers that you can kind of like pluck off and make tea with. Or if they fall off, they catch on the leaves. 3 years. 2. 2 years. Because the first year is kind of like shorter, isn't it? It's kind of rosette. And then the second year, that's when it gets the giant stalk. The roots are best in the first year and the leaves. And then the second year is when you get all the flowers. Uh, yeah. So it kind of just grows in like the very weird places, like gravel. It likes growing in gravel.
What's poultice?
What's a
Poultice.
poultice, Pat?
It's kind of like a mixture, like a lotion or a salve or something. No, it's not. So I like mixing it,
Say it again.
like cutting it.
A poultice is something you're going to put on, like you make a tea or something with your herbs in water. So you boil it, you get all the properties out, and then you get a rag, something, a piece of clothing if you're out in the wilderness, I guess, and you make a poultice, a press, like, right, for a wrap. We don't use those very often. Have we used those for, no?
Yeah. I think plantain was on the handouts.
Yeah, with plantain, you wet it, cut it up very small, and then you put it on you, and then you wrap a handkerchief or a piece of cloth around it. So if you get stung or any type of bug bites, and you just put it
Swelling.
on there and let it sit there. And I know I've done it, and pain is gone, and you don't get the welt and swelling and all of that. It really does a great job.
Mhm. It stopped swelling really well. It worked on
Yeah.
Harry.
That was one of
Um,
our first
Just
introductions.
a little. Yeah.
Crazy Gary just chewed up plantain in our yard and put it on some sort of bug bite or something, and it disappeared. And you're like, whoa, that was cool. I have a question. What other simple ones do you collect around your house or anywhere just picking? So obviously you can buy them all like Azure or whatever, but where would you just like easy ones that you pick? So dandelions, obviously.
Dandelion, plantain. Yarrow is kind of, that annoying weed that like it's really skinny. It kind of grows in bunches and it goes up. It has like kind of ferns on the side and then it sprouts out at the top and there's tiny white flowers all packed together and like kind of like a cone on top.
On the side of the road a lot of time.
Yeah.
That's yarrow.
Yarrow. Yarrow. Yep.
Do have to be careful with that one a little bit.
So,
It looks like Queen Anne's lace.
oh yeah.
It's
What
a
it was.
coagulant though. If you get a cut, you can put the flour right on it and it'll stop bleeding right away. It's like an emergency herb. Yep. Yeah, correct.
So yarrow is good for bruises, sprains, swelling, and hemorrhoids. It's good for fevers, colds, and measles, and a bunch of other stuff. And you can like look in mom's books over there if once you're done. In the 10
That-
edible and medicinal herbs. Yeah, probably.
Any others you find around?
Um, yeah, there's mint, but that one's not very common. Red clover is good.
Pine needles? Pine needles have a lot of vitamin C. What- I was gonna
Red
say old
clover
man's beard.
is the ones that like they have like the pink things coming out on top. The little pink flowers that like you can pluck off the little things and it tastes like honey. Uh, well, there are white ones, like there's some out there, but the red ones are like bigger and they're kind of pinkish. Like, oh, here, those. Ta-da! And those ones are good. Ba, ba, ba. Skin conditions and like a bunch of skin irritations. And oh, I didn't really go over this, but depending on whatever you're using is good for, that's kind of how you need to prepare it. Like if it's something for skin, you might be able to do like cut it up and wet it or something, or you could make it into a salve or something. But if it's like something, I don't know, like if it's a sickness or something, you need to kind of digest it. So you can use like a tincture or a tea or something. What? Oh, there. Okay. Oh, some of the weeds. Okay. Yeah. One of them is blah 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 blah. I'm having a brain cramp. This just starts with C. Looking. Oh, lamb's quarters is one. So those ones are more like edible ones though. And then there's lady's thumb. So lamb's quarters are the ones that kind of have like it's so it has like at the top it has kind of like frosty stuff on it. And if you wipe it, it kind of like comes off. Like Harry, choose that one to the right of that. Like at the top, it's kind of like whitish and frosty looking. And you can eat that. And then there's lady's thumb. Yep. Lady's thumb kind of has like long petals with like a little, usually they have a little black thing in the middle of them. No, that's not. Yeah. So it's good for stomach pain, skin ailments, and arthritis. So if you're using it for like, if you're using it for the stomach pains, you probably need to like eat it or put it in the tea or something. And then if it's like a skin ailment or arthritis, you probably use a salve or something. It has like those weird like black markings in the middle, and it kind of tastes like peppery. And you can put that one in salad too. Oh, wow. That's crazy. It's a weed and we just pull it out of our garden. So this is a 300-page book, and I looked up lady's thumb, and lamb's quarters is the one right next to it, so that's nice. That one's good for burns. You can make a poultice, like Mr. Huter was informing us about. And then skin irritations. So this one's better for like stuff on your skin and not really like sicknesses or something. It's good for arthritis too. Well, it relieves pain from arthritis. Or I can mention it.
Just that a lot of times, a lot of these things, it might seem like something that you would just put on your skin. But when you take it internally, right, a lot of symptoms of things come out in your skin. So if there's a problem with inflammation or irritation or whatever inside your body, it comes out in your skin, right? So that could be a indicator too, that it would be good to take it internally. But that's where, all of these books are going to tell you, hey, for this problem, take it internally. Maybe you're going to use it as a tea if you want something fast, or
They'll
maybe
kind
you're
of
going to.
tell you how to, like here on lady's thumb, it says stomach pains, and it says for stomach pain and digestive upset, drink a leaf tea, and it'll kind of tell you like what to do with it for that. And then skin ailments, it says rub the crushed leaves on the skin or put a poultice on the surface. Kind of tells you what to do with them. This is awkward. Oh yeah, mom puts that, she like tapes it up on the inside of the cupboard, and then she can just like open it up and look at different things. You can like look down it. Say, yeah, it's I like the Lost Book of Herbal Remedies because it's kind of weird because you can like go outside and if you know the name of something or you can like try to find it, you can look it up and almost all of them have something that they're good for. Like um sorrel is like those little things that look like clover, but each of the leaves aren't rounded. They're like folded and they're more shaped like hearts. Like that one. So it's like it's clover, but each of the leaves isn't rounded. It's shaped like a heart, and it kind of tastes like lemon, and it's really good. Yeah, I like it on fish because it kind of tastes like lemon. An infusion, um, that's kind of like an yeah, isn't that just like yeah, it's kind of like when the herb sits and like seeps into like some kind of liquid, I think. Oil infusion, tea. Liquid or an oil that pulls out. Yeah. Kind of like a tincture or a tea or something. Or an oil that you need to use to make a salve. Yeah.
So just thinking like this can be overwhelming, right? Where do you start? How did we get started? What did we do? One thing we went is on that little nature walk thing at Roby's farm to kind of get a little, taster as to how much of this stuff is all around you. What is one way that we have kind of managed? Basically, what I want you to talk about is how we harvest things when we find them, how we preserve them and label them in the labeling system and everything, and then maybe like what they're good for on the labels and
Yeah.
stuff. And that is how we manage things. You find a whole bunch of a weed in your garden, look it up, start with one thing at a time?
So whenever we like pick something, if we find a lot of it and we don't like use it right away, Mom usually dehydrates it and then she puts it in like mason jars and labels it. Or sometimes she like if we blah if we use brain cramp. If we use a tincture, it kind of like sits there and it doesn't really go bad. So you can just like leave it there and you can kind of forget about it. Or a salve or something. So basically, like this label is it's like 2 inches across and it's a circle. And Mom fits on like a paragraph talking about it. And she just says what it's called. And then she writes when she made it. And then she like says what's in it, what's it good for, so that like we can go over and we can just see, oh, this is good for what we need, and then we can use it. Or it just sits there.
Generally, how long do you let a tincture sit before you use it?
About a year, but it kind of just like gets stronger as it goes.
Yeah, I mean, it varies, 4 or 5 months, and you can go up to it, but it'll last indefinitely. But before you can use it and to draw the properties out, it has to sit in it.
A couple months before you can start using it, but it just doesn't go bad. You can just let it sit. He is a 10-year-old tincture. It's older than Marie. Is that it? Any questions, or do you just want to go stare at stuff and eat some of the donuts? Those are not herbal, by the way. Those are good for nothing except for eating. I don't think we're doing a demo.